Stanley Park is Vancouver's most famous green space. It's owned and operated by the Park Board, and it will soon be home to the city's newest controversy. It was announced last week that the Harry Potter Forbidden Forest experience is coming to Stanley Park this year. Tickets for the immersive experience will start at $49.50 for adults. And if you know anything about Harry Potter and global culture wars, you can guess what happened next.
I think this is a really serious oversight.
That is Vancouver councillor Lucy Maloney. She and fellow opposition councillor Sean Orr are calling on the Park Board to reverse their decision, citing Rolling's history of advocacy and funding for one side of debates around transgender rights and issues.
Obviously, we're going to see a lot of protests about this. The trans community and Two-Spirit community representatives have made their voices heard already about how upset they are that this is happening. And I want to help those voices be heard and see if we can change our minds on this.
That seems unlikely. The Park Board has put out a statement saying they look forward to the event, and we've spoken with a majority of Park Board commissioners, and there is little appetite to cancel at this stage. But there are three things about this story worth considering. The first is communication around Bright Nights, a much cheaper event that used to be held in the same space, with a portion of the proceeds going to the Firefighters Burn Fund. After the Park Board announced the Stanley Park train wouldn't be up and running this year, the Burn Fund organizers looked for a new venue before the Harry Potter proposal came to Park Board commissioners. Now the Park Board is frustrated those two decisions have been linked, but that could have been avoided if them or the Burn Fund announced the Bright Nights cancellation earlier. Second, there's a question about doing your own research. Multiple commissioners told CBC News that when the Harry Potter proposal was brought to them by staff, they knew less about Rolling's views than they do now. Now, knowing them may not have changed that decision they made, but it could have made them more prepared for this debate and backlash. And third, this decision is primarily about money. In 2023, the Park Board passed a Think Big strategy to raise more revenue. In 2024, they voted to raise surface fees. And 2 months ago, when they announced the closure of the train, commissioners were told reimagined themed attractions involving third-party entities would provide a more reliable and predictable revenue stream. Staff also said there have been many proposals for business partnerships at the Stanley Park train site that would differ from the status quo. You don't need to be a Ravenclaw to connect the dots. This decision seems to have little to do with picking sides in the culture war or giving the cold shoulder to burn victims, but it seems to have a lot to do with cold hard cash. Justin McElroy, CBC News, Vancouver.